So what I've done is I've very, very carefully disconnected the anti-roll bar drop link on this side, which I suspect is the damaged side, and then I have cable tied it in here. This is a very temporary fix. It's literally just a drive around, see if it makes any noise thing. I've just cable tied it to there so that it won't interfere, hopefully, with the drive shaft of the steering. I'm going to put the wheel on now and then test how that how it all moves and feels with the car back on its wheels and stuff. And then the plan is to take it out for a quick test drive and see if the knock is still there or not. At least it's one thing eliminated. Right, so the car has been extricated from behind the Polestar. So we can now I'm going to take a first test spin to see if the clunk is gone. I'll sit you there in the glove box, because hopefully that way you won't fall around too much. And let's see if tying up the anti-roll bar has made any difference. Now it's a funny clunk this, because it doesn't happen all the time. Like that. Oh yeah, just got a lot with me, that's fine. So I now delightfully have no brake warning light. That's excellent. Now the way I feel the clunk is on right hand bends, usually. Here we go, right handed. Well, there's still a bit of a clatter, but it's not the knock, it's not the same thing. Now the clatter could just be the anti-roll bar moving around underneath there, or the drop link anti-roll bar drop link moving around there, because it isn't, it's only held out with a cable tie. I mean, it's attached to the top, don't get me wrong, but it's only kind of positionally held in place with a couple of cable ties. So that could be what I'm hearing, but it's definitely not the clonk I heard before. So I'm definitely getting close to the problem. Here we go, another right-handed that sets it off. That would always set it off that corner. So no clunk there. That is very encouraging. But as I say, I could put the drop links in and think, hooray, I'm all done, and then find that it's the anti-roll bar bushing. So we're not there yet. It's only a little thing, but it's something that constantly annoys me. I mean, it's currently 11 o'clock in the morning and my clock is wrong. And not only that, but then within the dashboard itself, there's all sorts of functions that don't work because I can't access the car's trip computer. Now, what I've done is I've taken a bit of a punt on this. This is 25 quid. Normally, in good condition, if these are working, they're worth a couple £100 because they're so rare to find them functioning. Now obviously you wouldn't want that in your car, but what I'm hopeful is that there's enough functionality in this, even though the display is a bit knackered, that I can set my clock and my date and any other functions that might be in there. And I'm going to use the instruction manual that was actually in the car for the original head unit, which is this one. I'm going to use that even if the display isn't working. Hopefully by navigating my way through this, I'll be able to at least set those basic functions, and then I won't leave it in the car. What I've done is I've routed that cable, which is separate to the stereo cable, entirely separate, but also still part of the loom. I've just routed that out here so that when I'm done with it, I'll just push it back in there, put the shroud back on, and then I only really need to pull this out of retirement whenever I need to set the clock. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to pause this, plug it in, and see where we're at. Okay, so it's plugged in now. Moment of truth. Will it work? I'll put on the basic electrics first. Let's see if we can get anything. Oh, there's a bit of life in that, isn't there? Alright. I'll see if I hit the clock button. Right, something's happened there. Okay, so I've got, that should be, right, so it says press the keys below set to adjust the time. So let me see if that will allow me to, so this is minutes, so I can add fine. And then how do I... Wait, look. It's set. So that's it. There's just about enough life left in this that I'm able to work through the menus so that I can set my clock and set my calendar. Oh, the stopwatch is going. Okay, you stopped that somehow. Anyway, yeah, there it is. There's my time. I know it's a small thing, but when you're flicking through the menus and most of them don't do anything, it's really frustrating. And also having the time here not right. I don't know. I know it's only a small thing, but for 20 quid, I thought it was worth a punt. So it's another little tiny box thick. Just another little thing that makes me happy. It has taken practically the entire day to put the reversing camera in. It has taken literally 20 minutes to put the new drop link in. So what this will do, it'll either solve my clunking problem or it'll point me in the direction that it is probably the anti-roll bar bushings. That's a big old job. It's a meaty old task, that, because they're in there. You see them in there. Follow that fat bar back and that soft squishy bit you see right there. And I'll give it a bit of a squish so you can see it. There we go. So if I get in there with my pry bar, I'll give that a bit of a tickle. You'll see the rubbery bit at the back there. Not moving excessively at the moment, but then again, you never know. So, job now is put the wheel on and take it for a test drive and see if I have solved my rumbling suspension. And then the other thing I did this evening very quickly was I just took the rear wiper off to unblock the squirters. Getting the wiper off is actually pretty straightforward. There's 3 bolts. Take off this panel, which isn't on very good, is it? Put that on a little bit tastier. I missed that. Oh Lord. Oh no, that's going to be a whole bit job trying to get that thing on properly. Nuisance. I've missed a latch, so I got to take that off. But anyway, you remove that. There's 3 bolts in there, and then that drops under those 3 bolts, and then you slide the spoiler forward and just lift it up, and you can get access to the wiper motor thereafter. Oh, I bet a big stain on that as well. Alright, I need to get my gloves off. I need to get that off, put that back on right, get the wheel on, and then out for a test drive. And then I'm done for the day. So, test drive time. I have my... Oh, I don't need this anymore. Turn that off. I have my drop link is in. So let's see how it sounds. It's there. Clunk back. I think it's clunking again. Yeah, there's definitely a little clunk there. Oop, is it on here? Yeah, it's there. It's back. So that tells me that it's not, obviously, the drop links, because I've replaced those. That tells me that it's probably the anti-roll bar bushings. It was definitely worth the punt, and it wasn't a big job to replace the drop link. So I'm glad I did it, just to eliminate that. But yeah, as soon as I disconnected it, the clunking stopped, and it's not connected to anything else except the anti-roll bar. So that's the conclusion I would draw from that. I'm going to throw it into a couple of corners up here, see what happens. There's one up here at the roundabout, it always clings at. but I'm not too optimistic that I've solved it on this occasion. But that's okay. It was always a sort of a punt anyways, just to see if it might be an quick and easy fix. But at least we've narrowed it down as well, because there's a tie rod end, there's 2 suspension arms in addition to the anti-roll bar, so like there's at least 5 or 6 links in there that could be bushes that could be gone. At least I've narrowed it down. Alright, here's my corner, let's see what happens. Oh, this car. Yeah, there it is, Clunk. It's an anti-roll bar bushing. Not a fun job, but at least I know what it is. So the suspension clunk that I've been experiencing is kind of a known thing on L322s. And there's a lot of videos of people replacing a lot of components, and then it ended up being these things, which are the anti-roll bar bushes. And I can see why they're the last thing that most people do, because it is a ball ache of a job. So if you want to come in here with me, I shall show you what we're looking at. Oh, so climbing under the car, past the oily sump. It is quite oily. Anyway, so here are the bushings. So there's one. Now the clamp is off on this side. My clamp is over. Where's my clamp? There's my clamp. So the clamp goes on, put that in there, and clamps it on to the subframe. So the bush is now, the bar is now free. You can see it moving. There it is. So the first problem that I have is that the bush itself is sort of bonded, semi-bonded onto the anti-roll bar. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to scrape that off. So that's the first big issue I have. The other big problem I have is on the other side. So there are 2 bolts holding the bracket on. There's one there. Sorry with the light. There's one there on this side, about there, and then there's another which I've removed, and then there's one in here, which is an absolute pain in the arse to get to. Although I'm looking at it now, I might be able to access it from outside. It might involve removing the wheel, which I don't really want to do. I hate being under the car when it's up in the air, but especially right under the engine. And then once I get that bolt done and get the bracket off, I have the same issue of trying to scrape the anti-roll bar off on that side, or the bush off. So it's a proper ball ache of a job. It's going to involve a lot of lying on my back and just cursing. Anyway, on we go. The weather has become a bit more interesting, and meantime here I'm kind of at the spot where I finally got the bush off on this side. Let me go underneath because it's hard to see it from up here. Of all the suspension jobs that you could do on one of these, this I think has got to be the shittiest, because of where these bushes are located. So there's light coming in there blinding you. Sorry about that. So there you go. So that's the, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little hard to see. There's the anti-roll bar rolling around. And what makes it hard, access is one thing, obviously, because where it is, but also the bloody bush, here's the other side, is bonded, like properly bonded to the bar. So I had to go off and get a set of chisels to actually chisel it off, because I needed something sharp to get down to the metal. So it's been a nightmare. It's been horrific. I hate being under cars. You can kind of tell that from the fact that I've got 4 axle stands underneath it. I hate being under cars. And this I'm right under the engine and transmission while trying to get this bloody thing off. It's been a horror show trying to get these things off. So as to how they compare to the good ones, well, there's what a good one looks like. and there's the sort of the old one. So I don't know. It may not solve it. I have a suspicion it won't solve it. I have a suspicion I'll put this in, it will still clunk, and it'll end up being the drop link on the other side because I only did one. But at least it'll be done. At least it'll be that one thing that I know that will never need to be done again. Well, I'm not doing it again because it's a horrible job. No wonder nobody does it. And I'm not even done, not even close to being done yet. I've been here all day. Well, that's it. The two anti-roll bar bushes are in, and the clasps are bolted down, and I just have the little heat shields to put in. Actually, I'll give you a quick look at it so you can see it. Let's see any life left in this. Yeah, a little bit of life left in this. All right, let's have a look. Under the car we go. So right back, there's the wheel, and then right back at the back of the engine, the subframe, you have these anti-roll bar bushes there. So there's one, and now I've got the two clamps on either side of it. It's tough. I'm using this, but anyway. So that's what I've got clamped down, is the heat shield on that side, and also the heat shield. I got to bend it back into shape, and then clamp that down. That's important because they're right near the exhausts, and otherwise they'll get all melty and cranky again. But they're in. It's been a terrible job, to be honest with you. There's no need for those things to be bonded on, like none. You know, I get why they did it, because you would think, you know, it kind of future-proofs it, stops it getting loose down the line. But it just, you can't take an anti-roll bar out without removing the subframe, and at some point they're going to go over the car's life. So what? I don't know why they did that, but anyway, it's been a very physical job though. Like the parts, all the parts are big and heavy and meaty, and then I had to go off and buy new chisels, so because I could get a sharp edge on the anti-roll bar. I even had to buy a blowtorch to be able to melt the glue off, or melt the rubber off, so that I could scrape it off more effectively and get it down clean, because without that good clean tube, you're just going to invite the problem back again in future. So it's on now, it's done, and I hope that's it. I hope that solves the clunk. If not, the only other thing it could be is the drop link on the driver's side, which is an easy job, but at least it's done now. Oh, I don't even think I'll test drive it tonight. I'm just so tired. I might just have a beer and go to bed and do it in the morning. Right, well, I didn't want to go out in the bad weather last night, so what I'm going to do now is take this thing out and see if we've gotten rid of our suspension clunk. There's a few corners around here where I know it happens. You can hear the cloth trim squeaking behind me there. Never did that before. I'm hoping as the big noises fade away, only the little squeaky rattles come out. It's just a bit of trim, the seat or something. Anyway, right. So, okay. Even when I come out of here and turn right, this usually causes a clunk. Come on, Ben. Let me beat this bus out. We've got to learn our bus. I don't want to get stuck behind that thing. Right, here we go. Okay, no clunk there. That's not definitive by any means. Coming. No, and here we go. And always set it off that roundabout. It might be footloose and clunk free. This is good news. This is very good news. I think we may have solved it. Wow, okay, that'd be great. And they're only £18. Bastard of a job, but only £18 for a pair of good quality, like QH ones. So I think that's it. I mean, other than that, all that's left to do now, fingers crossed, touch wood, until something else goes wrong, is the welding. So that would be fantastic. I'm so happy. Just try it the other way. No clunk that way either. We're in a good place, folks. think we're in a good place.